get moving this morning. How are you? We're so thankful that you've joined us this morning. I have an amazing guest on the Book Nook. I'm so excited about this young lady. She is a trailblazer. Let me tell you, if you want to get something done, this lady is like an energizer bunny. We have the amazing Chantel Athena here today on the Book Nook, Right Division Book Nook, and she's going to tell us all about her book, and and give us some helpful tips. She's going to tell us about the best kept secret. A lot of us are able to keep secrets, but there's some secrets that we need to know, and she's going to share that with us today. But I want to encourage you right now, wherever you are, do me a favor, start sharing. She wants all of her friends to know about this book. So do me a favor, start clicking, start sharing, go to YouTube. We're on three different platforms. We're on two platforms, three different places. You can go to my public page, Despina Marie. There's my name there, Despina Marie. Or you can go to my private page if you're a friend, which is still public, at Despina Marie, or you can go to YouTube. You should be able to go to YouTube and submit your comments while we're right here with you for the Book Nook. This is what I'd like to do today. I'd like to encourage all of our friends to help make the message that you have famous. Help make whatever message it is that you're promoting that is bringing peace and joy to the earth. Let's help one another make it famous. I always say if 100 of my friends would reach out to 100 of their friends, we can get this done. So use your platforms so that even after we're off the air, you can share this link on your various platforms and let people know about this amazing book and this literature that needs to be in the hands of so many people. I don't know about you, but I need a good secret in my life. So you all, without further ado, because I want to dive right in and get to know more about this little lady. Well, just before I do, let's see who's chiming in. I want to make sure that you all are chiming in. I'm going to check it out. See if you're tuned into the Book Nook. See if you're sharing. I see Erica Langley is here with us, and she's already shared. Thank you, Erica, for sharing. You can also place your comments if you view it on YouTube, the Book Nook on YouTube. You're able to place your comments there. But Erica Langley, we want to thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. It looks like we're coming across really clear here. I want to see the rest of our friends. I see two others have shared it. Felicia Mitchell, your amazing friend. Oh my goodness, I'm tearing up the studio. Sorry, you guys. Your amazing friend, Felicia Mitchell, who's always there for you. She's sharing it. The Book Nook is falling apart, you guys. Okay, so it looks like we need to get Chantel in the room. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to allow Chantel to introduce herself at this time. Chantel, hello, how are you? Tell our friends
Hi.
all about you.
Hey, everybody. I am Chantel Athena, author of The Best Kept Secret. I'm so excited about this release. Also, before we'll talk more about The Best Kept Secret, but I am also a motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, an entrepreneur, which means I own a nonprofit called Silent No More, which we strive to motivate and encourage and pretty much mentor youth and teens in the Hampton Roads area, helping them with their social emotional, as well as giving them the strategies for their career fields and their just success place as a whole. So that is who I am. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I'm so excited to be here on the Book Nook. And this is just going to be an exciting time. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Chantel. As you can see, like I told you, you can just nickname her Bubbly. She's full of energy. So, Chantel, you have written this amazing book. I applaud you. But I understand this is not your first book. You've been writing for at least a decade. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, that is correct. This is not my first book, and I have been writing. I've been writing since I was a teenager, of just honestly journaling, and just that's really what I did as a teenager all the time. And then eventually I transitioned into writing my first book a few years back. It's funny because I was talking to my brother, and he asked me when was my first book released, and I told him. He was like, "Whoo, that was a while." I was like, "Right." And the next book coming after this is not going to be that long ago, but I'm excited about this one, and I'm excited about my first one. So this is just a great journey for me.
Chantel, not only is it an amazing journey, but you've written books. When I look at your writings, you've written books that are kind of like self-help books or motivational, inspirational tools for people. Now, the name of your first book, because we're definitely going to feature this best kept secret today, but the name of your first book is titled what, and how can they find that book? Because I'm sure that our audience is going to want to follow you after today.
The title of my first book is called Young, Saved, and Serious, Turning Back is Not an Option. So that is
Now, how can our audiences get that book? If they want to get that book, how can they get that book?
that book is located on Amazon. So you can
Wow, okay.
go on Amazon and get Young, Saved, and Serious, Turning Back is Not an Option, and it should pop up right there for you. It's on ebook and print.
Ebook and print. And I also understand that you have a website. We're going to go ahead and add that information for people who'd like to visit her website.
Are you able to hear me?
Chantel, they'll be able to pre-order that book.
Yeah,
Are you with me? Okay.
the sound had went out just a bit, so
Okay. So they'll be able to pre-order your book on the website, correct?
yes.
Okay. And when they get to the website, they can also find that it's available in various formats. Tell us about that.
Yes, so the book can be found or is available on ebook as well as audiobook and print. So this one, for the Best Kept Secret, I did a step further and did an audiobook. Very fun. That was a fun experience, but I'm excited that I did it. And I'm hearing a lot of the people that are purchasing my book excited about the audiobook. Just because I guess that is just the new thing right now, and people are like, it's easier to read on the go. So get that audio version if that's something that you're interested in, but as well as ebook and print is also available to you.
Now, will that audio book be available on places like iTunes, or is it an MP4? How can they anticipate receiving the audiobook? Is it a digital file? How will they receive that book once it's published?
Once it's how will they receive the ebook?
The audio.
Audio. Oh, okay. Once you receive the audio, it will be on what's called Audible. So I don't know if you've heard of the
Oh, okay. Okay.
Audible. So that's how it'll
Okay,
come.
great.
Yes.
Great. So they'll get the link for the audio book through that format, that platform. And I'm excited about this book. So I have to know the best kept secret. I love this phrase. I've already prayed. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, but God is not answering me. And I love that you were transparent and you shared that you became angry with God. Why isn't He hearing me? Why am I still waiting? What's going on? Now, I just want to ask, is this book about relationships or is it relational to whatever people are praying about?
It's relational.
Okay.
It's more so relational. Yes.
So, what was the inspiration for you, though? Like, we don't want to get too much into the book because we don't want to give it away. But
Right.
what was your personal inspiration? What was the motivation for you? What was inside saying, I got it. This is why? What was kind of give us a little synopsis of what was happening there?
Okay. So honestly, what you just saw on the website, what you just showed, the different quotes and stuff, I've said some of those, but those actually came from others. People that I've spoken with, and just especially last year throughout the pandemic. I mean, so much stuff was going on during the pandemic. So many people were going through so many things. And then I think that highlighted pretty much what we might have been going through before pandemic. So it's kind of like it put that big emphasis. And so we were already probably going through stuff before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened and it just kind of heightened everything up. And so hearing people say, I've prayed already, but God is not answering, or I'm tired and I just can't do this anymore. Or someone even told me, I don't want someone to tell me again to pray about it. You know what I mean? And I felt the sting of the weariness. And two reasons why I felt it. One, because my heart was completely compassionate towards it, because I was like, no, don't give up. God can actually come through. But then it was also, I actually understood how they felt, because I too was in that place, and I too have felt that before through my own trials and my own experiences. I like to talk about how I've been through so much. I've waited for so long, even with my nonprofit and me writing. Like the Lord pressed upon me what my purpose was back in 2014 when I spent 3 months in Israel, and it was almost like He gave me a glimpse of like the layout of everything that was supposed to happen. But I didn't realize at that time that glimpse was just a glimpse for that moment. I didn't realize I was going to have to go through a waiting period and a waiting season for the larger thing to come to pass. So within my waiting period, I'm talking about trial after trial, denial after denial. I mean, everything. So I could identify with people who are coming to me saying, I prayed already and it's not working, or, concerning anything, whether it be situations with our family, whether it be situations with our career fields, whether it be situations, that we're just looking for things to just open up. It doesn't really matter. Everyone goes through a waiting season of I tried. And that was just something that I could relate to. And so it stung my heart. And I was like, God, I need an answer, not just for them, but for me too. And that is what motivated me to begin to seek out that answer and identify the best kept secret.
I love, I have this old deacon friend. I love what he always says. I'm just trying to help myself. I'm just trying to help someone else while I help myself. And it seems like we're going to get the benefit of this book because you've been working on Chantel. And in the process of doing that, God is giving you some awesome jewels to share with the rest of us. So now, is there a particular target audience for this book? Like, it sounds like we can all really glean from this book, but you have like this energy that is so amazing, that I know there are certain people that you probably draw around you. So who would you say your target audience is for this book? Or I would say we'd all benefit, but who's your target audience? When you wrote this book, who were you thinking of?
I was thinking of those individuals, or those believers who were right at the cuff of give up. Right at the of course I believe in God, but maybe He's not working for me. Maybe He's working for others, but He's not working for me. So that person that's just like, I don't know what else to do because I did all that I know to do. from every aspect, from the natural to the spiritual. So it's that those people that I really wrote it for. But anybody can really glean from it because we all go through a waiting season. And I believe that as your believers, I should say, that if you are hanging on to a certain level of hope, then you can glean from it as well. But for those people that are really clinging, and that those people that are really just like, I don't know what else to do because I tried everything. That's who it'll definitely change everything. I mean, it changed. I'm just like, yeah, I'm
Well, I know you personally, and I can certainly see that there's like a light. You're always so bright, but it's like an illumination, an understanding that is coming your life, and this amazing journey that you're on that I just feel like you're ready for nothing is too hard for God kind of scenario in your life right now.
That is definitely where I'm heading.
So you can be the best witness for us. So hey, you all have heard it. If you're on the cusp of anything and you're like needing that extra push, this is the book for you, 18 to 80. I'm from the older generation. They say blind, crippled, crazy, 18 to 80. This book is for us. This is for all of us. So you need to get that book. You need to go to shantelathena.com to order your book today. You can pre-order it today. Now the release date is in July, correct?
Yes, July 10th is the official release date. That is also where I will have the release and signing party over at the MP Ultra Lounge in Norfolk. So anyone who is familiar with MP's amazing Caribbean food, so we'll be there with eating some Caribbean food. We'll be there. You'll also experience other local artists, where I'm actually having the platform to showcase other local artists to, just kind of share their stuff at the same time. And then we'll dive into some of the best kept secret and you'll get your book signed. It's just going to be a great event. So it's free. You just can come purchase the book if you didn't purchase it online, or if you already have it, if you want me to sign it. Just come on out that day from 3 to 5 at MP Ultra Lounge.
And again, that's July the 10th, correct? Okay, so listen, you all, she's inviting you out to her book signing, and you're going to be reading parts of the book. You're going to have some entertainment for us. I love what you just said, Chantel, is that you're going to be featuring other artists in different genres, whether music, poetry. I'm not really sure what you're going to be hosting that day in coordination with your book signing, but I'm excited about it, and we're going to make sure that we're there to support as well. I know you're going to be sharing with us about the book then, but can you just give us a little bit of a secret about the best kept secret? Just a tad bit. I mean, like, what's your favorite chapter in the book? Can you give us a snippet?
Yes, I can give you a snippet. Okay, so my favorite chapter is chapter 2. And the reason why chapter 2 is my favorite, one thing I did not say earlier is when I began writing this book and when I began trying to understand what the secret was, I actually sat in the middle of my bed and was like, okay, who in the Bible literally can best help me with this? And the first person that I thought about was Joseph. And so I sat there and I was like, okay, Joseph went through years of betrayal, and he, ended up coming out on top at the end. But I started thinking about that in between, and I realized Joseph never actually complained, or at least the Bible does not talk about him complaining. And so I sat there and I was like, Joseph, how did you do it? And honestly, that is where I got one of the greatest pieces to the formula of the best kept secret. And I say greatest piece to the formula because the whole everything that's in that book, all the strategy stuff and the pieces, you will not get the life-changing transformation that you desire without doing everything that the book talks about. But this piece is the piece that kind of opened up the path to all the rest of the pieces. And I like to say Joseph was able to identify his Godwins. And that is definitely my favorite chapter. I go into detail about what the Godwins are. And so I want you to just, when you get the book, I want you to look for the Godwins, and I want you to begin to I want you to begin to apply the God wins, because when I tell you that doing that will completely change your complete outlook, perspective. Chapter 2 is all about perspective, all about how we look at our waiting season, all about how we handle our waiting season. Because the reality of the situation is, everyone is going through a waiting season, especially when we're trying to fulfill purpose. We're saying, you know, God, we want to fulfill your purpose, and we're praying these things, especially for as believers. A lot of times we're praying, we want God's purpose, we want God's will. Well, when we want those things, that means it comes God's way. And so with that being said, that means we are going to encounter a waiting season. We're going to encounter a trial season. And so that means we need to look at that waiting and that trial season in a different way. And as I like to say, look at it. Sorry, there's an ambulance going past me. But I like to say, look at it in a different perspective. Look at it by using your God wins. So go in there and find out what the God wins actually are. It'll blow your mind, honestly.
Listen, we're going to take that ambulance passing by as a state of emergency. You must get this book. You've been listening to this amazing author, Chantel. You know, Chantel, I just want to read something. I even in just every expression of who you are, you're very transparent and you're very vocal, and you work. And we're going to talk just a brief moment, a little bit more, because we're going to keep this show to 30 minutes, but we want to bring you back. And we want you to share more about this amazing book as it takes wills and gets them moving. But even in your writing, when I said, hey, tell me about you, you know, it's like I've known you for a while, but even in your writing, when you express who you are, it's like reading a story. Like there's nothing uncovered. And so I said, hey, you know, I'd love to know more. And I just want to read this real quick, because I said she could tell us, but I want to read it. I'm going to read this. So I asked you, I said, can you tell us some nuggets about this book, right? What's your lesson? That's what we want to know. We want to know, what was the lesson? You learned that in our waiting season, it's all about perspective. We can't change or rush the process that we've asked for. We've asked to fulfill our purpose. We said, God, not our will, but your will. So with that being said, we must do it God's way. That's what she was just talking about, doing it God's way. Lord, not my will, your will. This is your journey. He doesn't change the journey that he has for us. You know, I always tell people, we just need to stop tripping and take the journey. So Chantel, if there are like three things that you could tell us that would motivate us, what would those three things be?
Well, the first thing I would say is, first of all, my motto, I stick to it all the time, that giving up is not an option. So first and foremost, I am going to be the first to agree to say that the journey, whether it's our faith journey, whether it's the life journey, it is not easy, period. Life is not easy. So I like to remind myself, I like to remind others that giving up is not an option. And if we are believers, that's even more stressed, that giving up is not an option. And so when the second thing is, that's when I move to perspective, that we have to be able to be open to change our perspective. Yes, we go through things. Yes, things are hurtful and we go through a lot of trials and stuff like that. And yes, our feelings are valid, but we have to be willing to, after we identify our valid feelings, to be able to let them go, so that we can have a different perspective and a clear mind to see it in a different light. Because realistically, how we see where we are is how we will move about in this life. So if we see where we are hurt and frustrated, we're going to move in this life hurt and frustrated. If we see where we are as overcomers, or as being strengthened and moving forward, even when we don't feel that way, that's how we're gonna operate and move about in this life. And I rather the latter, because it keeps me so airy. But then the third thing is, I want to say to pray about your strength, because again, the strength is what we need in order to go through the journey, right? We can't always change what we're going through, but we can definitely pray for the strength to go through it. So those are the 3 things that I wanted to say to motivate and inspire you to continue on in your journey of life.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Thank you. Such a young soul with such great wisdom. Listen, you all, again, you can visit her website. There you see it scrolling across the ticker at the bottom to pre-order your book. Order your book today. Get this amazing book, The Best Kept Secret by author Chantel Athena. You always say, is it Shan or is it Sean? It is actually Chantel Athena, a beautiful soul. I want to take you one more time to her website because we want you to visit it. We want you to peruse over the site, discover more about Chantel Athena, Chantel Athena. And also, you know, some of the different things that you've got going on, Chantel. I noticed that you featured here on your website the opportunity for people to partner with you in your endeavor, Silent No More, to support the community and sponsor a team. I'm just going to just peruse over the site just a little bit here. As you can see, Chantel does a lot of work with the youth. Oh, look at that spotlight for the month. Oh, he's so happy. Jermaine, the 7th grader. Why is just Jermaine? Why is he so special? Other than just being special.
So this is a fun time. We were doing a tutoring sessions, and he was pretty much wanting to get better, like within his reading and stuff like that. And so I gave him a strategy. I'm like, okay, use this for when you're doing your reading tests and stuff. So long story short, he called me and was like, guess what? I did the strategy and I got 100 on my test. And I'm like, hey. So he was definitely excited that day.
And hence the amazing thumbs up and that smile that's just contagious. But you can also visit ChantelAthena.com and you can partner with her in her Silent No More endeavor. I'm just going to show you a little bit more here before we leave the site. Go there, sponsor a team. You have that opportunity just by clicking on the link to give. And you can also find out more about her annual Give Day that she hosts and other endeavors that you're doing in the community. She does a lot of community work. She's not just here writing about it. She is, as I love to say, being about it. This book, you have got to get the book. It is new. It is fresh. It is relevant. It is relational. It is Chantel Athena. Chantel, we got to get ready to go. We're just about out of time. But is there anything that you'd like to leave with our audiences today? Any final words? And of course, we're going to invite them again to the book signing and event that you'll be hosting. I'm just going to leave this platform for you just a moment to leave us here with some words or last comments that I know anything you say, it's going to affect positive change in our lives because you're such a positive person. But I just want to give you this stage for a moment to share whatever you'd like to share with us before we close.
Thank you so much. Before we close, I just want to encourage and inspire anybody out there who is in between or just tired of being in the same situation. I want to encourage you to be open for a different perspective. I want to encourage you, and I'm not just saying to get the book, but the best way the book changed my life. So I want the same thing that happened to me, the different perspective that I have, I want you to be able to grab hold of that as well. So just be open to a different perspective. And I want you to know that change is on the way and that you can be strengthened in the wait. I promise. And again, if you can meet me at MP Ultra Lounge for the book signing, you could just come show out and just enjoy the other local artists that will be there with us and enjoy some secrets and some nuggets that I will drop at the signing party. So thank y'all so much for tuning in today. And thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely. I have enjoyed it. This won't be our last time that we meet to share about the book, but I want to encourage you right now to go to her website and follow Chantel. Chantel. I'm going to practice that for our next interview. Chantel. She has some amazing brothers also that are professional boxers, and I'll just think about calling you Sean. How about that, Sean? But you have such an amazing family. Did you want to give a shout out to your family before we go and your friends?
Sure. I want to give a shout out, of course, to my family, to my mom, Wanda Davis, she is definitely the rock of everything about me, who I am as a person. I want to give a shout out to my siblings, my sister, who is always there, and we're just like this, and my brothers, who is continuing to strive harder. One of them will be heading to the Olympics next month in Tokyo, so excited about that. And just excited for all of my other family who is just supporting me all the way, every day. My soul sisters, they're always here. They have my back. And just everybody, my close family, friends. I mean, everybody's just been so great. So thank y'all so much for everybody. And yeah, follow me on
You
Facebook.
really do. You really do have an amazing host of support, friends, family, and it bears witness in the professionalism, the product that you produce, the partnerships that you have to affect the so many lives, so many young lives, and our lives as well. Make sure you get this book, The Best Kept Secret. I have been perusing over Chantel's website. I got it right. I want you to go to her website, follow her, Chantel Athena, on Facebook and Instagram at Chantel Athena. Go check out this book. Check out her site. I saw a really great video there. We're going to talk more about that video production offline, but it was a really great video there that kind of really pulls you into what this book is all about. So if we didn't do it here in this 30 minutes, make sure, again, you follow Chantel Athena. Go to her website, go to her Facebook, and get The Best Kept Secret in print, audio, and ebook. Chantel, have an amazing day. Again, thank you for joining us here on the Book Nook. God bless
Thank
you.
you. Bye.